Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Okay, so I believe that I'm live. Thank you. Trying to find a cure. I'm so glad you guys can hear me. I got a lot of craziness going on today. I cannot get my golden retriever in the house. He's been a little nutty. Our almost 16-year-old hound dog passed away in early May. So ever since then, this 2-year-old golden retriever is a little lost and loopy. No, trying to find a cure. No, the full moon is not until the 9th of August. Okay, so I can't remember if I wear headphones or not. Hang on. Should I be able to hear myself? Thank you guys for being here. So I wanted to present something. I'm trying to figure out how to do that on StreamYard. Okay, so Allison was trying to tell me that I do a share screen thing. Okay, I don't know if I can. I'm getting excited for Donna's trial that's upcoming in the next few weeks. Okay, I apologize. I put you guys on mute. So I think that there's going to be a slam dunk on Donna's trial. They have the emails. They have the absurd extortion defense, which, I mean, what do you guys think? They're going to use the same defense? It seems to me that Donna's defense attorneys, the former judge, Jackie Fulford, and then Josh Selman. I mean, they're pulling out all the stops in regards to her defense. Like, we did not see any type of motions being filed with little Rashy is what I'd like to call him, during Charlie's trial. Like, we didn't see any of this activity before Charlie went on trial. It's very odd. And so, I mean, okay, listen. I mean, Jackie Fulford has like a bit of a reputation around here in the Circuit 2 parts of North Florida. It's all available via Google, Firefox, Bing, whatever you want to search. There's a lot of shady stuff in the past when she was on the bench. I mean, she owns a funeral home. It's either called Young and Fulford or Fulford and Young. I hear the commercials on the local radio. I mean, she got in trouble. She was on the bench in Wakulla County, which is south of us. It's actually the Wakulla County Jail is where Donna is located. But she got in trouble over a decade ago, when she was on the bench down there. And it was in regards to the county sheriff's office race at the time, way back then. That's all I'm going to say. So, trying to find a cure, and Susie Q. You two ladies have been with me for the past several minutes, and now I see that Kristen H. is arriving. Thank you for being here. I really don't know what I'm doing. I was like basically chatting with Allison from My Father's Alibi. Probably last week at some point, asking her a little bit about StreamYard. You guys, I am so like technically challenged. It's so bad. But I don't even know how to like pull up, news articles or something into my StreamYard to present anything. Yeah, so it's probably just going to be my icon. This True Crime Wifey puzzle piece icon is something that Jibs and Jabs made for me about a year ago. So I thank Jibs and Jabs a lot. Well, trying to find a cure. Yeah, no, she wasn't going to go anywhere. I mean, she's got a lot of connections just to make it into a position on the bench in regards to her background. No, she's not going anywhere away from Tallahassee. But yeah, Jackie is funny. I mean, she's clearly like an ex-smoker or a current smoker. Like, she's got that deep voice. She's got the suntan. Her dealings on the bench in Wakulla years ago, was in regards to the sheriff's race between, and I will try very hard not to say but I am an person. Um, but there was a sheriff's office race between the longtime sheriff, David Harvey, versus Charlie Creel. And he was an FHP, Florida Highway Patrol. Charlie Creel, just in the past couple years, like he's actually passed away. David Harvey was the sheriff in Wakulla for like 35 years or something another at the time. He had gotten into some trouble. He resigned. He was not fired or let go or be in office. He just resigned and went away. But apparently, she had made comments when she was sitting on the bench to a Wakulla County deputy at the time, who was someone I believe that I don't know if they like posted something on social media. And no, I don't think it was social media. It might have just been news around the office type thing. Because I'm talking, this is like 2010 or so. Probably need to Google and see when they were running against each other. But she basically shamed a Wakulla County deputy who was a bailiff in her courtroom about who that particular bailiff was rooting for in the election. That was one of the things that actually started her. That might not have started her demise. That might have been in the midst of her demise. She's super shady. And, in state government, I worked for state government for over 20 years. And even when you see like politicians or, Andrew Gillum, the former mayor of Tallahassee, is an example of this. But whenever you see someone in like a higher position get busted or shamed, like the first thing that they should do is turn around and either claim substance abuse or mental health, right? We used to call that SAMH, substance abuse, mental health, SAMH, SAMH. Because then there's extra protections around you. Look what happened with Andrew Gillum. Like, he got busted in Miami after the Democrats put him up on the ticket for governor years ago, and he got busted, drugged out in a Miami high-rise that he owned, a $1 million high-rise that he owned on a mayoral salary in Tallahassee with an escort dude. And Andy Gillum was completely incapacitated, didn't even know his name. And, cops got in trouble in Miami about that whole thing. But he turned around and said, I had a substance abuse issue. I love my wife and my twins. So you see what I'm saying? This is what that's what Alex, or whatever his name is, Murdaugh in South Carolina, right? Remember when he was like getting busted? Like all of a sudden he, appears being arrested in Central Florida in a mental institution. So, yeah, Jackie Fulford was put off the bench, and I think that it was considered a disability. And I don't know if there's any like substantial information or verified information, whether it was a medical or a mental medical. It is what it is. One thing I've been enjoying recently is watching Loophole Lawyer. He's been putting together these like slides, I guess, after he appeared on a Legal Focus, Judy's channel. I don't think he's sold on Wendi yet, but he doesn't really know the case fully. But he's been putting out like these 10 to 15-minute segments in a comedy fashion about the trial. And so like he's learning about the trial, which is kind of like cool to watch, like new people coming on board. Loophole Lawyer. He was on I wish I knew how to do that. He was on a Legal Focus with Judy a couple weeks ago. Apparently, I guess he said some things that were maybe like, offensive or politically incorrect. And some people sent her messages about it. But when I watched that particular video, because I was not on the live, I watched it afterwards. I think I actually arrived like late in the live. But he's just like, I mean, he's clearly a comedian. He's married to a Jewish woman. No, I'm sorry. No, it's his. Yes, he has a Jewish mother-in-law. He has a stepmom that's Jamaican. Like he's, multifaceted. So, okay, so Kristen, I see your question. I'm not going to bring it up, but I, I did see some of her stuff like several months ago, but the new stuff on that channel, like she's copying the shaming of Jay. She's actually even titling her stuff from the shaming of Jay channel. That's just my observation. Let me try to see. Okay, so okay. Wait, no. I hope I didn't. Nope, cancel. I wonder. Okay, so I want to try to share something. I get so nervous. Inside StreamYard, if I click on something, I feel like it's just going to delete. Let me see if I can figure out how to show a video on screen. What does that say? Yeah, no, Allison was trying to tell me where to go, and I know I've done it before, but thank you. Thank you, trying to find a cure. Thank you guys for being my guinea pigs. I don't know. Hey, John Smith, good to see you. I'm trying to figure out it like StreamYard. I kind of wanted to show a video, but don't know how to do that. Listen, I'm Gen X, okay? I'm truly Gen X. It says share screen, private chat, people style, media, banners. Okay. Oh. Oh, wait, it says present. Oh, share screen. Hang on. Oh, it's easy with two. Okay, I don't have two monitors. Okay, I have a good computer. Share screen. Oh, ooh. Oh, hang on. Oh my goodness. Wait, let me go to, oh, I don't know if you guys are seeing all of this. Oh no, AA legal. Hang on. Oh, she might have. Okay. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, we're going to watch this. Have you guys ever seen Paper Bear? Oh, okay. Can people hear this? Oh, hang on.
Did you say Wendy's a little bit spoiled?
In some regards, I mean, she gets a lot of help for sure.
Is she a little less savvy about how the world works than you are?
I don't know. You got to ask her.
Could you trust Wendy with a secret that could ruin your life?
It's not a secret. It's something that would get me killed. So I didn't want to tell her.
Can we agree that she obviously knew something about this crime?
She found out when she came to court. I never told her anything.
I'm talking about the murder, Dan Markel. She knew something, right? I mean, it's not a coincidence she went to the crime scene, is it?
Okay, so I have it pulled up as loud as I can get it on here. Okay, so Paper Bear has not posted in over a year, almost 2 years. I've always thought that Paper Bear was possibly TSP,
You're talking about the route that she took that day?
but the dark comedy. Oh, this is part 2. Hang on. Let me go to part 1 of 2. We want to watch this. I don't know how long we're going to get through these, but these are really good. And I have to toggle between the two. So hang on. Let me try to read chat another way.
Charlie, let's start with the most important question. Did you cause the death of Professor Dan Markel?
Absolutely no.
Did you hire anyone to kill him?
No.
Absolutely no. You guys, that is not an answer. Absolutely not is the answer. Absolutely no. I have never heard anyone say absolutely no ever.
Did you put any letters in any diaper bags of Katie Magbanua to have Professor Markel killed?
No.
Are you familiar with your charges in this case?
Yes, I'm very familiar with my
All right.
charges.
And who are you alleged to have done this murder with?
I'm alleged to have done this murder with my sister, my mom, and my dad.
Does your mom have a favorite child?
Yeah, right? Someone just said they saw Patty.
She says she doesn't have favorites, but I don't think she likes my older brother.
Okay. But is Wendi the favorite?
I'd like to think it's a tie between me and her.
Does your mom worry more about Wendi than you? Let's
I don't know.
do
You get
before this case.
And we now meet Donna Adelson, Coral Springs, Florida. I want to hear all about you, Donna. Let's go.
Well, I'm a domestic coordinator.
A domestic coordinator.
Yes. I'm responsible for the activities, classes, and lessons of my son Robert, who is 16, Charlie, who is 12, Wendi, who is 10, my husband Harvey, who's in the audience, and my dog Sam.
All right. And how old is Sam?
5.
5. Well, good. So give him our best.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Mustard maker. Nope, still mustard maker. Stu. Age, please. Yes, there's one age. Time starts now. First. Donna.
F.
Yes.
Mischief maker.
Yeah, that's it, Donna.
Wait, hang on. Hey, tennis girl. I saw you just arrived. I am showing Paper Bear channel. The Maestro and the Mischief Maker, a dark comedy, part 1 of 2, and they are showing a clip of Donna on Wheel of Fortune.
Donna.
F.
Yes.
Mischief maker.
Yeah, that's it, Donna.
Mischief Maker. Donna won the round.
Let's talk a little bit about your brother Charlie. Is he an older brother or a younger brother to you?
I'm the youngest of 3, so I have 2 older brothers. They're both older than me.
All right, and he's the middle child, Charlie?
That's right.
All right, and are you closer to Charlie or to the other brother?
I'm closer to Charlie.
Generally speaking, does your mom manipulate the personal lives of her children?
No.
Is your mom, like, if she's really upset about something or worked up about something, is that something that your brother Charlie's going to hear a lot about? Who's going to hear more of it, you or Charlie?
Well, if my mom's upset with me, probably Charlie. And if she's upset with Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so do you get a lot of that? Do you hear a lot about, let's go back. Let's go to...
So, if my mom is upset with Charlie, me. And if my mom is upset with me, Charlie. Oh, Donna. What type of mom is she?
Before the murder, did you get a lot of Donna just giving you an earful about what Charlie needs to be doing?
Probably at some point.
What was Charlie doing with his personal life? What did his personal life look like
At what point?
before the murder?
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Right, but my mom didn't complain to me about that.
She didn't mind that with him.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't really weigh in on it, no.
Who talked to her more, you or Charlie?
Charlie.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, were your parents extremely angry with Dan?
At that point, no. They were in a much better place.
Did your mom call Dan any disparaging names around this time frame?
Well, I just read them in the
That was not truthful. She said, no. What do you mean? Like, relocation was a big deal. And Donna getting busted on Zoom in the background where Dan Markel could hear her calling him stupid and idiots on the computer phone to talk to the boys. This was a big deal in family court.
emails, but I
Okay.
don't remember them independently.
Okay. Did she call him an asshole?
Yes,
A narcissist? A
yes,
bully?
yes,
Religious zealot?
yes.
Bastard?
That I don't remember.
Page 5.
Okay. Is it page 5 from the first email?
Look, Charlie cannot even keep composure. He thinks it's so funny that his mom is emailing Wendi and calling Dan Markel all of these names. Meanwhile, Charlie is sitting here, everyone, and it's been 9 years and 4 months since Dan Markel was gunned down, and Charlie finds it funny. Ugh, what a sicko.
Yes, if you'll just go through by the physical pages.
I see, yes.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes,
Fucker?
yes.
Yeah, that term, Fucker, is so funny to Charlie. Guys, little Rashbaum, also used the term fucker or fuck or something, something quoting. Didn't see Charlie laughing then.
It reads, however, the rest of your life and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's will be affected by how well you can perform/act before July 31st. You need to be a good actress you can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Who's Jibbers?
Jibbers, she's referring to Danny.
And was Jibbers a name he went by or just something you called him behind his back?
Jibbers was a silly nickname that I gave him during the divorce proceedings when
Jibbers is a name that I, assigned to my ex-husband because he said, Wendi, I'm so worried about you. You might have mental health issues. And instead, she went behind his back and filed for divorce in the Pearl Harbor of divorces. Meanwhile, making fun of him, calling him Jibbers, short for gibberish. And you guys, I'm not trying to be graphic or morbid, but when people get shot in the head, a lot of times they are mumbling things, and it's this makes me know and believe how much more malignant narcissist she is, how diabolical Wendi is, because again, I don't mean to be graphic, but you guys, Dan was, heartbreakingly speaking gibberish in the end because he had been shot in the head. He had brain damage.
he was being pretty scary and threatening, and it kind of made me feel less scared of him.
Okay, so not something you called him to his face,
No.
but that was a word that was only used to describe him.
Yes, it was a nickname.
Okay. So in this, again, your mom is referencing how everyone's life is being affected by this relocation, including your brother, Charlie.
Right, John Smith? I mean, we weren't even allowed to say the word frickin' growing up because, I mean, that was slang for effing. Yeah, I mean, even in like adulthood, I say stuff like, oh, sugar, oh, shoot, instead of oh, shit, because I'm, respectful of people around me or, children. Hey, Debbie Martin, good to see you, sweetie. Yes, okay. Okay, I am going to highlight this. And again, Debbie, I'm learning, okay? I'm going back and forth, playing a video, and then like pausing it, going back to StreamYard. I'm not tasked in how to work the lives yet, so. Kibitzer. Kibitzer is a Yiddish term for someone who talks a lot. Yeah, so kibitzer, gibbers, like, I mean, and I don't know if you were here yet, but I mean, Debbie, like what's so heartbreaking to me is that, after a person is shot in the head and, brain activity is, dwindling, like, there's a lot of like mumbling gibbers, like stuff coming out. Like it makes me even more angry at this malignant, narcissistic, diabolical ex-wife. I mean, in my belief, allegedly, Wendi is 100% the mastermind. Okay? Donna did what she knew her daughter wanted her to do. That is my opinion.
You agree with that?
That is what she said. Yes.
All right. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's, a little on the controlling side?
I don't think she's controlling, but she's definitely overprotective.
Did she ever try to micromanage your life?
Maybe, yeah.
Did she have an interest in who you were dating and who you weren't dating and who you should be dating when you were single?
I think she was usually disappointed that I wasn't dating more.
Okay. They were arguing over everything, right? All the belongings.
Correct.
Down to a tennis racket.
That's correct. He stated that the sole reason was because she could relocate with the party's minor children to be near her parents.
And was the relocation petition that Wendi filed, was that ruled on?
Yes, it was.
All right. So what did the court say about that?
The court ruled against that and ruled against her, saying she had to stay in Tallahassee with the children.
And what specifically was he seeking in reference to Donna Adelson?
He was seeking to limit her visitation rights to where they had to be monitored, supervised
by another adult.
That's correct. She was being very assertive. Mrs. Donna Adelson was being very assertive with Wendi Adelson, trying to influence her to do different things to Mr. Markel to get him to agree to.
Okay, so what Pat Sanford is testifying to here is in regards to, sorry, I'm gonna, sorry, I'm so sorry. I had to pause it for a second. Okay,
Let her and the children to move to South Florida.
All right. What about the idea that you could try to threaten Dan to convert the kids to Christianity so that they can fit into the Bible Belt here in Tallahassee. Is that something your mom suggested in these emails?
My mom did suggest that.
Okay, and specifically, this is on page 7 of the exhibit. Let Jibbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church. Have a picture made of them in front of the church, all that kind of thing. That's what your mom suggested at one time?
She did, yes.
Okay, and did you do any of those things?
No, I don't even think I responded to it.
Do you know whether the defendant, your brother Charlie, was supportive of?
You're right, Kristen. I mean, I have been saying this from the very beginning. I mean, just even being local and seeing information like all over the old chat boards back then, I'm like, this Adelson family, they cannot even act innocent. They can't even act innocent. like we've all seen a movie where someone can act like they care or like act as if they have empathy. The Adelsons cannot even act like they have some sort of heart, empathy, sympathy. I mean, they cannot do it. It's nuts.
The plan to convert them or pose as converting them to Christianity?
I have no idea. I don't think he was particularly involved in this round of my mom's emails.
On page 11 of the exhibit, there's an indication from your mom that Charlie at least has discussed this with her and maybe is somewhat supportive. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done in a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance that would show Jibbers that he's, all caps and bold, not in control. So it just seems like your mom was pretty extreme about this situation of getting you relocated. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. And Charlie was at least consulted on it or had offered.
Okay, I just have to say something real quick. You know, money talks and bullshit walks. Everyone's heard that comment before. To get into any school, oh, sorry, that's my golden retriever in the background. I'm sorry, I had to let him out again. But it didn't take a lot, if you will. If you have two FSU professor parents, they're both lawyers in Tallahassee. I mean, these kids were going to get into any school. It didn't matter whether it was Christian, you know, a charter school or whatever. I know that they were young, but yeah, no, they were never getting denied. And I've asked Jared Ross in chats before. I asked if he knew that Dan and or Wendi had checked into Benton Preparatory, Benton Prep. Hold on real quick. Sorry, I had to yell at my puppy real quick. Sorry. But I asked Jared Ross in a chat at least once, maybe twice, if they ever looked into Benton Hills Preparatory, which is I think it's like a pre-K, maybe even pre-K 2 through second grade. But a lot of people in that area actually send their kids to that school. It's highly prestigious, very nice. Yeah, Kristen, this is our first golden retriever. He's 2 years old now. He's a sweetheart. I cannot attest to the fact that they are the smartest of dogs, though.
Offered some information about it.
Well, that was my mom's rendition, so I don't know if that's what actually happened or that was her perception.
Sure.
Another text from Donna Adelson. If you speak to Wendi today,
Yeah, Debbie, I mean, I see what you're saying, but okay, so the School of Arts and Sciences, which was like right on Thomasville Road, at the corner of Hermitage and Thomasville Road, so essentially less than a mile and a half from Dan and Wendy's home, or the home on Trescott. I'm sorry, Dan Markel's home on Trescott. Yeah, though. Okay, so yeah, at the same time, I had kiddos getting into the same types of schools, and it's not always, who you know, but a lot of times it is who your parents are and what type of connections they have in the community. Because, okay, so Debbie, thank you so much for bringing this up, because, okay, I believe that we might find out during Donna's trial, whether it is via email or phone calls or even in-person inquiries, that Donna was checking out schools for the boys before fall of 2014. Like, I'm thinking that Donna was finding out between like June and July of 2014 positions for the boys in Miami schools. That is my own speculation. I'm hoping that we find out more about that during Donna's trial.
tread lightly. Don't ask questions about the depot, her lawyer, etc. Tough day, and she's really stressed out. The asshole showed up at soccer yesterday, and when she tried to leave with the boys, he said, "No, stay here and play with Abba." She to the boys that Abba had to leave, and he said, "No, I don't." Of course, she woke up to another email from him telling her that she is lying to the boys about their father's whereabouts and that this will be brought before the court. Such a fucker. It was Wendy's day. He is allowed to attend the children's activities, but that's where it ends.
So Donna Adelson looks like she was mad that he didn't just attend the activities. Dan Markel engaged with the kids, gave them a hug, said he wanted to play with them.
Yes.
And he was of the belief that you had withheld some financial things from your affidavit, and maybe he didn't owe you the money that you had previously agreed on because you had not been honest in the initial disclosures, right?
He accused my attorney of having unclean hands and committing a crime.
Yeah, and assisting you in withholding this money from the
Correct.
disclosures. Okay.
8A, on 3 specific occasions in November 2013, the children informed.
So right then when Wendi was talking, she was talking about Christine Adamson, right? He was accusing my attorney of and okay, so other than Charlie himself, Christine Adamson is the only one who testified for the defense during Charlie's trial. Just a quick recap, we are watching Paper Bear's channel. This is called The Maestro and the Mischief Maker, a dark comedy, part 1 of 2. Paper Bear has not posted in over a year and a half. My speculation from a couple years ago is that Paper Bear is or was Society Page. I just don't know who they are, but they haven't posted anything in a long time.
To Mr. Markel, Abba, Dad, Grandma says you're stupid. When queried as to why Grandma, the maternal grandmother, would say such things, the children replied jointly that it is because she says you are trying to take her sunshines away from her.
And continue, please.
In December 2013,
You don't have to say the name.
Yeah.
Your child.
my child, the younger son, further stated to Mr. Markel in front of the former wife, Abba, Grandma says she hates you. The children were visiting with their grandparents at that time.
Mr. Markel is concerned that continued exposure to such negativity forms a foundation for parental alienation. Is that what he was alleging about your mom?
That is what he is alleging in this document, yes.
And this was filed in court.
Okay, I'm totally muted. I'm a loser. Okay, Kristen, I agree. Wendi was already packing. I think that she was transporting stuff back down to South Florida for at least 4 to 5 weeks prior to the week of Dan Markel's murder. Remember, she had gone on a trip with Jeffrey in May to Gainesville. That's when they had their, blow up or whatever it was. She was gone for 2 solid weeks prior to her coming back into town. What was that, like Saturday, July 9th or so? Or it would have been, I guess it would have been July 12th. At some point in time, and I cannot remember the date right now, and I honestly can't see my notes because it's so nice right now. We've had a shower and it's really cooled off everything. So I'm on the back porch and I don't want to put on the back porch light because then, mosquitoes are going to come. But at there is one weekend, and I think it's a late June weekend, where Wendi tells Isom that she had actually rented a car for her mom and dad. And so I am dying to know what vehicle was rented, because I think it's a U-Haul. And I really need to do a fact video where I have all my notes and everything, but I can't remember the exact date, but I think it's okay, let me think. 14, 12, and 7, which is 5th. So it would have been the weekend before the July 4th, 5th weekend of 2014. So that would have been basically June 29th or 30th or so. She did rent them a vehicle. And I don't know where this came from. I mean, I'm originally from South Carolina. I grew up in Florida, but anyone and everyone I've ever known, they've always joked with me and made fun of me. I always say vehicle. Like, I don't say car or truck. I always say, like, oh, my vehicle. Like, my husband makes fun of me all the time about it. Sorry. Sorry, side note. I always say vehicle, but I think, like, I'll guarantee you, they probably rented something that was large, whether it was a 15-passenger van or a mini U-Haul or even a minivan. Because, okay, so remember, Wendi was driving a 2006? 2006 or 2008? It's one of the two. I think it's 2008. Yes, because he has an '08 Accord. I actually have that same vehicle. But you guys, okay, so the Honda Odyssey, like, it has, especially in 2006, 2008, even current, it's got these collapsing like bucket chairs and back seat where pretty much you can make your entire vehicle past the front seats completely flat. I feel like they were taking things down to South Florida for at least a good 4, if not more, weeks prior to Dan Markel's shooting.
He filed this in court.
And this was the filing that never got ruled on, right?
I don't believe there was any ruling on
And
this.
that's because Dan Markel was killed before the hearing, right?
I don't know when it was scheduled for.
It wasn't even scheduled yet.
Okay.
It was waiting to be scheduled when he was killed. Is it fair to say your mom was worried about this motion?
No, my
Yes. Okay, I am seeing Debbie and Kristen talking. Yes, you guys are right. And remember, okay, so Jeffrey Lacasse talks about How to Train Your Dragon 2 movie that they watched, and the screen was broken. It is in the middle of June when he is renting that video, that DVD to watch with the boys. And he makes a statement that he tried to go down the hallway to the bedroom when he knew that there was another TV. And she's like, no, we got to watch it on this TV. I believe that the TV from the bedroom was no longer in the bedroom at that time. That is just my speculation. And I mean, my informed opinion based on all the information that I've received.
mom never knew about this motion. And as I mentioned before, Danny asked my mom to babysit after filing this motion.
Oh, mom never knew about this motion. Remember, this is the one motion that she sent 12 people.
So I don't really believe anything that's written here.
Well, you forwarded this motion to your mother.
I don't believe
via
I did.
Email. In fact, you forwarded this motion to 12 different people. Your mom, Jeffrey Lacasse, Renee Griggs, Tova Walsh, Morgan Honeycutt, Gary Cohen, Miguel Edmondson, Trey Hubler, Robert Adelson, Rachel Frank, Jared Reich, and some MEHULNYC at yahoo.com.
The last person is Mayul. And if you guys watched either video of Jeffrey Lacasse being interviewed the second time and the third time at TPD, it's on my channel. I also did lives on it back in March, like during spring break. I never got the first video. I'm so glad that Deep Dive True Crime has actually reposted it without the edits that he put in. But Mayul is one of the ones that Wendi was most likely, spending time with at some of her out-of-town conferences.
So if you weren't worried about this, why'd you send it to all these people?
I couldn't really say. It's been a long time.
Miss Adelson, did you have anything to do with the murder of your brother, of your ex-husband?
Absolutely not.
It's fair to say the state has it wrong.
Absolutely. The wife has been very unhappy in the marriage and filed her petition for dissolution of marriage in August 2012. The husband continues to characterize this as an abandonment of the family. At no time has the wife abandoned the children. She is divorcing the husband due to her unhappiness with him and the marriage, and she only moved out of the home because she knew the husband would not. The husband's statement of abandonment are unfounded and not supported by fact or law. He is simply having difficulty accepting her decision. In fact, he is having so much difficulty that he has told several of her colleagues and friends that she must have mental health issues.
Danny kept claiming that Wendi was a little unstable and that she was very flaky. And I was kind of, but she ended up being like that, and that she would make plans and she'd cancel them suddenly or she'd forget about them, and she'd do that with friends as well. But it became a hard line. They would call it, you're either Team Danny or Team Wendi. You know, he's the only dad I've ever met who would go to his kids' preschool daily just to have snack with them. I mean, he loved them that much.
So if you like the job so much, why?
Just a quick note, I don't really know anyone, any dads that actually go to their children's
Why were
preschool
you looking to relocate?
to have snack with them. Like, what a tremendous loss for these boys.
I mean, relocation was not a big issue for me.
Oh. No, she's lying.
I probably never would have thought of it. A friend suggested it to me that it might be helpful. Maybe I would get more time with the kids if I...
Maybe I could pass my kids off to my mom and live my single life in my Miami high rise and not have to parent.
If I could relocate. But I wasn't really focused on it. I didn't think it would happen, and I was pretty happy being at my job.
It's fair to say that your mom came up with some crazy ideas.
Totally bonkers, yes.
And his primary concerns were he wanted to get more time with his children, if at all possible, but he didn't want to change the kind of the time sharing. He had a kind of an unusual request. He wanted to see if there was any way that he could see the children every night when he didn't have them, to tuck them into bed and kiss them goodnight. And he said, look, I'll only stay 5 minutes. I promise I won't bother anybody and I'll leave. And I said, Dan, that's probably never going to happen. That's just...
Yeah, right. Stephen Webster's like, no, Mr. Markel. That's not going to happen.
Probably not reasonable. And then he was really concerned about parental alienation, which at the time I wasn't, really familiar with it. I didn't do family law, but I was familiar with it from the perspective of I learned about it in law school and stuff like that. But he was really concerned that the grandmother, Donna Adelson, was really trying to drive a wedge between him and the children. And he actually told me that he heard her.
Why is Charlie shaking his head? Like, Charlie wasn't even privy. He was not even privy to his mom's emails to Wendi. Oh, Charlie got played like a fool.
Refer to him as stupid on a Skype call. He couldn't see her in the Skype screen, but he heard her say something to the effect of "stupid's on the phone."
We've heard some testimony that everything was going well between Dan Markel and Wendi in the few weeks leading up to his death. Do you have any knowledge of that?
It's untrue. There's a reason he hired me. he didn't retain me because he needed a friend. Tor basically told me on the phone call, he said, look, there's going to be a trial and it's going to be acrimonious, and he needs a lawyer that can go into the courtroom and be prepared to fight. He said, that's why I think you could handle this case. And that was, we were heading towards a trial. And he certainly, you know, I mean, he sent me an email the day before talking about how he was irate because Wendi, unbeknownst to him, had actually enrolled or applied to have been enrolled at the School of Arts and Sciences. And she didn't even talk to Dan about it. So he found out the day before when he got called from the school saying that Ben had been accepted. And so he emailed me and said, I'm irate about this. He said, you know, I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay.
So no, I mean.
So there were a bunch of issues still going on.
Yes.
It was hot at the time.
Yes.
All right. And there was some suggestion that Dan Markel was expected to lose all the filings that were currently pending at the time of his death, and Wendi was expected to prevail on everything. Do you agree with that assessment?
You mean like with the contempt and all of that?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would not have got involved if I thought he was going to lose on the contempt. You know, my reputation travels with my clients too, if they're doing things like that, right? I mean, if you're representing a client who is disrespecting the court, you know, it's hard not to feel like that's bleeding off on you and you're disrespecting the court. And in Tallahassee, Florida, if you practice in this circuit, you know, if I disrespect Judge Everett today, you know, every judge in this circuit that matters to me is going to know about it before lunch tomorrow. And it's just no. So no, I would not have accepted. That's why I didn't think I was going to take the case when I read all that.
The latest claim was that she had concealed $500,000 in assets, on top of having the family heirloom and other things that he felt were unreasonable. He had claimed to my aunt Alex, apparently, that there was something that big that he was going to drop a bomb on her in the next week. A legal bomb that would discredit her statements, particularly with regard to financial matters. Again, the timing of all of it doesn't sit well with me. It's mind-blowing, but the legal situation was getting to another point where it was blowing up.
He somehow found out that she withheld financial disclosure.
Yes.
And was going to use that?
Yes.
For what purpose?
It was to discredit her and have things adjusted, I believe, including getting back his heirloom.
Okay, he told you this.
Yes.
That motion for contempt, she asked you if he could be put in jail. You have no idea, right?
I didn't remember whether that's what contempt meant, but.
You were asked about a filing or two filings that were made on May 2nd. If the phone calls in question occurred in well into the afternoon hours, it would have been after that filing. Would you agree with that?
I have no idea.
I think you do, because I think you were shown the documents and asked about the time of the filings.
I know about the filings, yes.
Okay, so if the calls occurred in the into the late afternoon, we have it now 3:15, 3:49, 3:50.
Okay, so I did pause it, and then I also took it off of mute because I think I've paused it and not unmuted. Yeah, you're right, Debbie. So that was, remember, her birth date was the 3rd or the 4th or so of June, and June 5th is when they went to dinner. I think that June 5th might also be the evening that Maya Greenberg referenced in regards to Dan Markel and Tamara. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's the same dates that Sigfredo and Luis had come up to Tallahassee for the first murder attempt. So that all went down between June 3rd through the 5th.
For all of those times, 3:56, 4:39, 4:55, would have been after those filings.
That,
Would you agree
that
with
would appear to be correct.
Okay, thank you. And were you familiar with Professor Markel's practice of emailing Wendi prior to making these filings and saying, basically laying out the whole thing in an email? This is what I'm going to do. If you don't comply, I'm going to make this filing. Were you privy to those emails?
Sometimes.
Stay, Ms. Kappelman, if you can go through that with the witness.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Your Honor?
Foundation.
Okay, were you privy to emails from Professor Markel to your client, Wendi Adelson, previewing the filings before he made them?
Same objection.
Overruled. She's trying to lay the foundation now.
I'm aware of it, that he did that on occasion.
Okay, and do you know whether he did that in reference to the May 2nd filing?
I have no idea.
All right.
Is Charlie kind of self-centered?
I don't think so.
In the spring of 2014, your book was selected by FSU.
Yeah, I agree. Debbie Martin, I think that Tamara Demko is going to be for Wendy's trial. Okay, so I am going to have something to say after this.
What was called the One Book, One Campus event, right?
That's right.
That means that your book was going to be required reading for all incoming freshmen at FSU.
That's right.
Okay, you guys, listen. It was not required reading. I actually have a copy of Wendy's book. I obtained it. I can't even remember. I put a post on my page. But then a few months ago, I actually took, screenshots of the first 2 pages and posted it on like my community page or my post page, whatever it's called on my channel. It was not required reading, guys. Okay, every freshman, and there's a good amount of them. I think like 20K more. I don't even know. But you get like a welcome packet with like, an FSU bag and, your tuition's going to buy you something. And the book was in there. And then there was an invite to watch the author speak at the Civic Center, followed by a barbecue buffet at the President's House, which is on the other side of Tennessee Street. And this is like a week or so after like school has started. You guys, all freshmen are going to go for the free food. It was not required reading. There was no test. You did not have to write a paper. You didn't have to do anything. You got the book in your welcome packet. And if you open the book, which the one I got from the Goodwill store right around the corner from Trescott had never been leafed through. It looked, spick and span, brand new. I'm just saying it was not required. Yes, it was the one book, one whatever. But you guys, no one had to do a test. No one had to write a paper. And you got a free barbecue buffet after you watched her speak. But I think actually she didn't even end up speaking because, she orchestrated a murder against her ex-husband.
So Wendi was going through this process. And the time before she left him, she finished writing her book. And I noticed when she gave me a copy of the book before she left him that she didn't put that she...
Okay, so this is a copy of the book. Mine, okay, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, my little thing. Mine has an FSU seal, like right here. And I remember when I got it, I bought it for like $3.99 at the used bookstore, Goodwill, that is on the corner of Benton and Thomasville Road. And I think I took a screenshot and sent it to Patty, but then I posted it right afterwards. And then Patty emailed me back or, texted me back and said, "Oh, you got one of the FSU editions." Well, I didn't really know what she meant. And then later on, I realized it had this FSU seal here. And then the first 2 pages was kind of like the welcome for the one book, one freshman, whatever type thing. And then it explained that the author would speak at the Civic Center, and then it would be followed up by a barbecue buffet at the president's house at such and such address, starting about a half an hour after she was supposed to end her speech.
She was married. She listed her kids, but she didn't.
So yes, the book that I got was definitely mass produced by FSU.
And I kind of was like, interesting.
She didn't list Danny?
Yeah. Not to my recollection. There was something that stood out about her dedication to me, or the author lives here with her 2 sons.
Okay.
Yeah, John Smith. All that was required was that it, if you open the book, then you got free barbecue. I mean, that's essentially what happened.
And so that was a little odd. But again, this was a few years ago at this point.
What was the book about?
The book was about human trafficking and about the vulnerabilities that lead to trafficking problems when it occurs, and basically how to recover from it after.
Where was the book set?
It was set in a fictional town.
What was the name of the fictional town?
Hiawassee Springs.
So Hiawassee. Is it located in the panhandle of Florida?
No.
You guys, yeah, there is a Hiawassee Springs, and it's in Central Florida.
Oh, I used to see the name when
She definitely would have seen the name on the I-75 signs. I've seen them.
I was driving from Tallahassee to Orlando, so it's somewhere in between.
And was the place modeled after Tallahassee?
It was definitely somewhere in Florida, but not supposed to be about Tallahassee, no.
Who was the central character in that book?
So there's 3 central characters. One was one of my clients, kind of a composite character from Eastern Europe. One was kind of a composite character of many clients I've represented from Latin America. And one was a public interest lawyer.
And was the public interest lawyer Lily?
Yes.
And is that the character that's sort of based after yourself?
No, really more based after a friend of mine.
No, Wendy, Lily Stone is AKA Wendi Jill Adelson.
And was Hiawassee?
Oh, I don't even think she took the last name of her husband in the book. The dude's name was Stone, Josh Stone. She's Lily something other.
Florida, quote, just a small stop on the way back to what we had previously known as civilization. Is that a quote from your book?
That sounds like a quote from my book, yeah.
And who's the husband of Lily, the public interest lawyer?
You want his name in the book?
Yes.
I think it was Josh Stone.
All right. And what was Josh's employment?
Josh was an English professor.
I'm sorry. Lawyer.
You want his name in the book?
Yes.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to be muted. Okay. I just went back real quick. Okay. Watch this exchange. I'm sorry. Yes, I was muted. I'm no longer. Watch this exchange. Wendi is gonna get this really worried look on her face after this questioning by Georgia, and when Sarah Catherine Dugan comes up and talks. There's Morgan Honeycutt. There's Ruth. There's Phil. I believe that's Shelley. I don't know any of these other folks. I do not know who this man is. Okay. I just noticed this. I'm sorry. That's why I paused it, and then I was speaking, and then I realized I was on mute. I apologize.
I think it was Josh Stone.
All right. And what was
Yeah,
Josh's
Wendi.
employment?
Josh was an English professor.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Josh was an English professor.
A professor, where did he teach?
It's been a while. I wrote the book over 10.
She looked a little rattled, in my opinion. I wrote the book over 10 years ago. I can't remember that I just said North in front of Florida State University.
Years ago. I don't remember what I named the university in the
North
story.
Florida State University?
That sounds right.
NFSU?
NFSU sounds right. Yeah.
All right. And in the book, does Lily lament, quote, "We moved to this godforsaken place for Josh's career"?
Yes, that sounds like.
So, yeah, Charlie doesn't know it's in FSU. He does not know. I don't think Charlie knew much about the book until this trial. I just want to watch this real quick. Again, I'm so sorry.
I wrote the book over 10 years ago. I don't remember what I named the university in the
North
story.
Florida State University?
That sounds right.
NFSU?
NFSU sounds right. Yeah.
All right. And in the book, does Lily lament, quote, "We moved to this godforsaken place for Josh's career"?
Yes, that sounds like a line Lily would say.
Oh my gosh. So Charlie is looking back and forth between Georgia and Wendi because he wants to know the answer. He doesn't know the answer. I really had not noticed that before.
Was that intended to be the place in this binder where you allege emotional abuse by?
Debbie, he didn't know the details. He didn't know the details about the book. I mean, I've always kind of said that, but I mean, I'm watching it, you know, like very closely now. But I mean, I always thought based on all of the jail calls and how he was like laying out the evidence to his mom on the phone complaining about, you know, the prosecution, but basically, you know, on the phone reiterating all of the evidence that got him convicted. And then when he gets to the book and he's like saying all this stuff that he learned at the trial about the book, I always thought, oh, he didn't know. But I mean, what we just saw, I feel like I just saw him watching Georgia ask the question and then glancing back to Wendi because he wants to know the answer. He doesn't know the answer to the questions about the book.
Your husband?
I mean, I think it's emotionally abusive to suggest somebody has mental health issues.
And probably the biggest source of cash through the years is every time I went out, every chance I could, I used my credit card to build up the airline miles, and I'd always pay the tab, and whoever was there would just give me the cash, and it added up over the years. I've done that 20 years.
Now let's talk about gifts to your sister during her divorce. Do you recall giving her a TV?
Yes. When I gave her the TV set as a divorce present, This is the stupidest thing I ever said in my life. And I said, you know, I was going to get you a Hitman, but the TV set was a lot cheaper, so I went with the TV set instead. And I said it as a complete joke, and it was stupid, but I do that a lot.
Exactly.
Did you ever tell him, Charlie, why are you making that joke when we're actually hiring a hitman? Like, don't you think that's a bad idea? Did you ever say that to him?
No, because he's.
Oh, there's John Steinbeck. There's Mentor Lawyer. There's Fancy. I don't know these other folks. I'm gonna backtrack for 1 second.
Why are you making that joke when we're actually hiring a hitman? Like, don't you think that's a bad idea? Did you ever say that to him?
No, because feels like he's untouchable.
Quote, it was always his
Oh, Catherine.
joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman and it was cheaper to get you this TV. Is that what he said?
That was a joke that he made, yes.
And hiring the hitman, that was to kill Dan Markel.
So, I'm sorry. One thing I wanted to say about that, like when Rashi's like all getting on Katie Magbanua's case, did you ever say? Right? Did you ever say? We hired a hitman. Why are you making that joke? I didn't hear Rashbaum ask Wendi, did you ever say when your brother made that joke? That's not funny. That's inappropriate. Don't talk about my children's father like that.
Oh, right. That was the joke.
That was the joke that he made in poor taste, yes.
Not to kill someone else.
No. Well, he never used his name.
Okay. Well, he's hiring you the TV because it's cheaper as a divorce present than a hitman. Who else would he be hitting with the hitman?
I never really thought about it because it was not a thing that he meant. He just made a bad joke.
Well, you repeated the joke, didn't you?
He repeated the joke.
Didn't you also repeat the joke?
To other people?
Yes, like Jeff Lacasse.
I never said that to Jeff Lacasse.
Like the Geek Squad dude.
You didn't tell Jeff Lacasse that your brother got you that TV as a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
I may have repeated that joke in the context of the TV, yes.
All right. And who is Jeff Lacasse?
Jeff
Georgia. Right before you asked about who is Jeff, you should have said, didn't you repeat it to the Geek Squad guy that was fixing your TV on the morning of July 18th, 2014? And then if Wendi said, I can't remember, then she should have directed her to the page in her interview transcripts with Isom about her telling that joke to the Geek Squad guy.
Cass was a person I dated in 2013.
And did you tell Jeffrey Lacasse shortly before the actual murder that your brother really had looked into hiring a hitman?
I did not.
I walk in the door and Miss Adelson asked me to look at her television because there's something wrong with the television.
And what was wrong with the television?
Well, I turned it on and I was immediately confused because it really shouldn't have been a question. As soon as you turn the TV on, it's been struck by an object and is damaged and basically unusable.
Can you explain what the damage looked like?
Yeah, it looked like somebody stood in front of it, took their fist and hit it like that was my first impression.
So kind of like a shatter mark with spiders.
Yeah, there's like an impact crater, and then there's out from that and it's all pixelated and distorted, which makes it very difficult, or really no.
You're probably right, Kristen. I mean, there's probably stuff that she's gonna save. I think that Georgia is extremely careful because of the use immunity deal that they have with Wendi. So and it's so easy. It's so easy for, someone like myself who's seen this several times, but like now, like noticing certain things to, make comments when the reality of what we're watching is Georgia is there real time asking Jeffrey the questions. It's very easy to play Monday morning quarterback on any of these crimes.
One would watch this TV unless you had to. And I had second thoughts about that. I looked around the room. Maybe the kids broke it. So I looked all around the room and it didn't seem plausible that the children broke it. They're very small. This object had to be kind of heavy. I'd thrown a ball around with them. I just couldn't see how the kids could have done it.
But you didn't see how it got busted.
I didn't see it. I didn't know for sure. And I didn't know we'd be discussing this in a murder trial. So I didn't investigate further or think about it very much, to be honest with you. I just thought, okay.
Were there other TVs in the house?
There was a TV in the back bedroom, a similar make and model that we had watched television with the kids before on that TV before. So yes.
Is that where you watched the movie that night?
No, I went to go hook up the DVD player in the back room. Miss Adelson insisted that it would not work.
Insisted that it would not work. He never went to the back room and actually saw that there was a TV there.
And actually stopped me from even trying. So
from going down the hallway.
Thought that was very odd, but I didn't want to argue. And it's her house, her TV, her kids. So I said, okay.
So did you watch the movie on the broken TV?
Yeah, we gave the kids movie night where we watched a movie on a broken television that was distorted enough that you could follow what was happening, but the kids are whining and crying the whole time. And I wasn't whining or crying exactly, but I was tempted to because it was pretty frustrating. And I just didn't understand, what was going on.
And
you guys, Jeffrey is so endearing. I just have, he's so. I have a very different opinion once I saw the other interviews. He definitely solved everything, Kristen, like right away. But he was definitely taken by the Miss Wendi Jill.
TV that your brother bought you as a divorce present, the same TV that was being repaired on the morning of the murder?
Yes.
And did that have to do with you accusing her of seeing other men?
That was one of the issues. There'd been a lot of tension bubbling. That was the major issue. But just to give that some context, I suspected very strongly she was seeing other men. Of course, your office had confirmed recently to me that there was multiple online active dating accounts the whole time we were supposed to be exclusive. But just to give context to that, that was combined with Wendi promising me the world.
Kristen, did it sound like I said Wendi Jail Adelson? Did I say Wendi Jail? That was like a Freudian slip, if I did. But I mean, I'm Southern, so sometimes you know, instead of like heel, I might say hill. Wendi Jail Adelson. I might have. Jill Adelson, Jail Adelson. I mean, that kind of sounds better.
In June, talking about me moving in. Shouldn't get a Jeep. You should get a car. The kids' car seats will fit in. The kids should start calling you daddy was the most outrageous one. And so she's like throwing herself at me over the top in a way that felt totally disingenuous and fake. And at the same time, I think she's seeing other guys. So it just kind of boiled over. I tried to have like a serious, honest relationship conversation with her, and that didn't go very well.
So you were kind of, at least up until all of this started.
So this is the same time frame that he's like finding out all of these things about Wendi. He's like, you know, he's seen slap marks on her behind after she's gotten back from work trips. Like, he knows something is up with this chick, which I think he knew from the get-go because he started seeing a therapist, but he knows that she's disingenuous.
Started happening, you were kind of full steam ahead, and it seems like she was a little stop and go, hot and cold. Is that?
It was a roller coaster, is what I would say. And I had felt since April that I was perhaps being strung along. I had that intuition. I couldn't fathom a reason why you would string a guy along like that. It didn't make any sense at the time. She asked to speak to me confidentially in a very serious tone of voice. Told me that Charlie had investigated all possible options to take care of the problem of Dan Markel, including hiring a hitman, which would cost about $15,000. And I later revised that and thought maybe it was $50,000, but the dollar amount was the only thing in question. She definitely said that Charles Adelson had looked into hiring a hitman to kill Danny Markel.
And when did she say Mr. Adelson had looked into hiring a hitman?
When the relocation was denied the previous summer.
So, there was rumor that the Adelsons had spent $50,000 the summer before on a hitman that ran off with the money. We still don't know who that may have been. I have an inkling, but I think it's far out there. And I think I'd probably get some pushback on who it is, but it makes total sense to me who it is.
Yeah, I was excluded fairly quickly because investigators found Kmart surveillance footage of me at a Kmart in Tennessee using my credit card, my cell phone showing me there shortly after the murder. So it was impossible that I was the shooter.
All right. And then was there also some similar type coincidences around the time of the trip that the killers made in June?
Yes. On June 6th, I had a business trip to Gainesville, and I departed at 11 a.m. on a Friday, June 6th, which Miss Adelson would have known about by March. So really, I take 2 trips out of Tallahassee in my car the whole spring and summer semester. Both times, hitmen try to kill Danny Markel.
Okay.
Then in June, at a time when Wendi Adelson is breaking up with you.
So, Debbie. King Anthony. That's definitely a possibility. I think that mine's a little bit more sinister. My idea, I think it might be Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the reason why I say that is because Ryan and Charlie were involved in that business that they created, but the business was like a scam in regards to insurance payouts or something to that effect. And Ryan wasn't being paid anything. Charlie was very arrogant and treated a lot of people around him like he was better than them. I don't know. But what would be really funny, I guess, in my own sense of humor at times, or I don't know. I just feel like it would be super funny if Ryan took that money and was like, yeah, I'll have something done, and then ran off with it because he wasn't being paid a salary. Charlie also blamed Ryan Fitzpatrick on jail calls with Bree after conviction that Ryan had stole $500,000 of trust fund money for Roman. Does anybody remember that jail call where he basically is blaming Ryan for stealing money? But I feel like there's more to the story. And so I guess in my own sick sense of humor, if you will, I don't know. That's my wildest dream type, explanation. But I do think it would be really funny if Ryan was the one that's like, hey man, I'll help you fix your whatever, and then just, didn't do anything. I mean, and what's Charlie to do? Charlie couldn't do anything. I mean, he turned around and sued him legally in regards to their business that was defrauding people with insurance claims, which is super odd. But okay, sorry. Okay, Kristen, I shared my theory, but it is it's like my out there in space Twilight Zone theory, but a lot of this case has been like, Twilight Zone area, because it's just been so bizarre.
She sits you down and she says, I have to confide the biggest secret in my life. That a year ago, my brother actually looked into hiring a hitman. That's your testimony here today, right?
Debbie Martin, that's that's just like my wild theory about who may have been paid $50K the year before and the job didn't get done because whoever ran off with the money. So I'm just, jokingly saying that maybe it is Ryan Fitzpatrick, because Ryan and Charlie were in this business together, some sort of like insurance payout voucher. It's kind of like a scammy business. And Ryan was working for Charlie for, I think it was like a good year or a year and a half, and hadn't been paid anything. So it's just silly. Sorry. Hey, Mia Wallace, how are you? Okay, so almost everyone that's here has been here for a while, but like Mia, you just joined, so I'll tell you what I'm watching, or what we are watching. We're watching a channel called Paper Bear. They have not posted in over actually almost 2 years, but they did like a compilation, and this is called The Maestro and the Mischief Maker, a dark comedy, part 1 of 2. And it's just kind of going over the Adelson case, and we've just been discussing some things that we've seen, and like my latest our latest discussion that I paused on was in regards to what might have happened to the $50K that the Adelsons allegedly paid out the summer before. To kill Dan Markel. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look. I'm just trying to remove this comment. I don't know where it is. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the video.
You said in June, sir?
In June? I'm sorry. In July.
Okay.
In July.
Can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Sorry.
I'll try to keep it lower this time.
There was a bunch of.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I was running my mouth, so I kind of missed what just happened. Let's see real quick what just happened. Look. There's James, mentor lawyer. There's John Steinbeck. There's Fancy. I forgot who this is.
Sorry, in July.
Okay.
In July.
Can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Secret in my life. She sits you down and she says, I have to confide the biggest secret in my life. That a year ago, my brother actually looked into hiring a hitman. That's your testimony here today, right?
You said in June, sir?
In June? I'm sorry. In July.
Okay.
In July.
Can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Sorry.
Oh my.
I'll try to keep it lower this
Little Rashy.
time.
There was a bunch of weird. There's just things that don't feel right to me, and that's why I'm really glad that you have me come in, having me come in today. I talked to her, and she told me that she was dating someone, and I said, "Oh," and I thought it was new. It wasn't new. She'd been dating this guy since September. Social worker. Don't think that any one of them physically pulled the trigger. I think it is extremely odd that Janine all of a sudden is tagging on.
Yeah, Mia Wallace. I mean, that's my guess. Paper Bear is something that I first saw, probably during Charlie's trial. I had mentioned it back in the day on chats with TSP. I just kind of always thought like maybe it was TSP. I don't know. Whoever they are, they haven't posted since right after Charlie's trial.
I found it extremely odd that Wendy's boyfriend that she was so excited about a few weeks ago was not there. And she's like, there's no new guy. And I was like, that's interesting timing. There's just a lot of interesting timings that don't feel right here. And Wendy's gone through a lot. She's gone through a lot with this. So it could just be that she's grieving, and I hope that that's the case. But I wouldn't put it past her father or even her brother to do something that she might not even be aware of.
You talking about this Charlie?
Charlie, maybe. Charlie really cares about her and hated Danny for stuff. Everything I've heard does not feel random at all to me. And it feels incredibly intentional.
And then on 2/19 of 14, Donna texts you again to tread lightly with Wendi and refers to Dan Markel as an asshole and a fucker, right?
Sorry. You made me laugh. Sorry.
That's what I'm here for.
Was there a text message exchange in March of 2014 where Donna Adelson asked Charlie Adelson to erase a text that she sent?
Yes.
Okay, can you show us that? Can you read it to us?
2 texts here. The first says 37 miles to Gainesville. The next is, I can't talk now, but I'll text you before we stop in Gainesville where I can go to the bathroom and have a moment of privacy. Then I'll call. Please pick up because I will have very limited, quote, alone time today. Erase this text after you read it.
Okay, so she wants to go to a bathroom to talk to Charlie Adelson on the phone in private once she gets in Gainesville here.
Yes.
But wants him to erase that text on his phone.
It's what it indicates, yes.
Okay. Then a few minutes later, what does she say?
We'll stop in about 5 minutes and I can speak to you privately about Dad's birthday gift when I'm out of the car. I have some good ideas.
Are these gifts what it took to secure her silence for so long?
No, absolutely not. I was never trying to get her silence. I was hoping she'd tell the truth.
Was your dad's birthday in between the 2 trips that the killers took?
Yeah, my dad's birthday is July 5th.
And what birthday was that for him?
It was his 70th birthday party.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about the texting between you and your mom about the birthday. And she texts you on March 4th of 2014 and says she can't talk now, but she'll call when she goes to the bathroom in Gainesville and has privacy. She tells you to erase that text after you read it. Why did she have you erase that text?
Okay, if you look at the records, I never erased the text.
Well, why did she ask you? If you know, you may not know.
Maybe she's afraid my dad's looking at her phone and would find out about the president. It made no sense to me. That's why I was like, I didn't erase anything.
How is you erasing the text going to prevent your dad from seeing it on your mom's phone?
Well, if my dad looked at my mom's phone, then he'd see the text and maybe know she's planning for his birthday.
You weren't with Dad. She was with Dad.
You weren't with Dad. She was with Dad. It's like, yeah, this is all the secret paella talks, guys, because we all have to like pull off the side of the road off I-75 in Gainesville. They probably stopped at the Paynes Prairie exit between Ocala and Gainesville so she could, get out and call Charlie. I have to go to the restroom. Pull over at this rest area, Harvey.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, she was with my dad.
And the text that she asked you to erase, that particular text didn't say anything about a birthday or paella. Can we agree on that?
No, but I knew what it was about.
20 minutes later, she texts again and asks something about Dad's birthday. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know we were trying to plan a surprise cruise. That was the original idea.
Okay, and the paella is mentioned elsewhere, not in this particular thread that we're talking about now.
Yeah,
Was paella the big birthday gift?
Yeah, I paid for the catering for the whole party.
Okay. Then 3 months later, on June 8th, just after.
Oh, Georgia, you should have been like, what do you remember what that bill was? You paid for the catering for the whole party? Did you also have Maine lobsters?
After midnight, you text her, quote, still working on dad's birthday present. Was that in reference to the paella guy?
Possibly what I was also getting was a present. I mean, it's been 10 years, so I don't know exactly what I got him 10 years ago on his birthday.
And then
or
at
what I was
1
thinking about.
a.m., I'm sorry, you weren't done.
No, or what I was thinking about getting him.
And then at 1 a.m., mom texts you back. I know you'll, and I think she was in Israel, so that may account for the time, but she texts you, quote, I know you'll come through for me. Is that what she said?
That's what the text said, yeah.
Can we agree the timing of these texts is consistent with being sent the day after the killers got home from their failed June murder trip?
No, it's consistent with a few weeks before my dad's birthday and trying to figure out what we're going to get him.
Did your dad get any big gifts for his 70th?
I don't remember.
Did you, so there was no big lead up and discussion about some big gift that you were involved in, at least?
I don't remember. I don't remember if I gave him a present. I hope I did.
Do you remember what anybody gave him for that birthday?
I really don't.
Was the murder?
Okay, all of this is BS. If you are throwing a large birthday party for your dad's 70th party, people are coming to the house. Like, you're gonna know, oh yeah, I also got him this gift. Or, no, I didn't spend any money on a separate gift because I contributed $500 to the catering for, the 70 plus people who were coming to a decked out party. It's like, this is bull crap. You're gonna, okay, so if it's just like, whatever other kind of birthday, maybe like not one of like the 10s or the 5s, or, I mean, this is a big deal. Haritha and Rob came down from New York State to Miami. Charlie is there. Wendi is there. Instead of Donna and Harvey enjoying the fact that they had 3 successful children and celebrating, Harvey's about to go into retirement. Instead of that, at Harvey's 70th birthday party, they are plotting the murder of Dan Markel. It is just unbelievable to me. They had a lot of gifts. Harvey and Donna, even though I believe she's 100% narcissist, she's a narcissistic mom. That's my opinion. I do not diagnose anyone. But instead of them enjoying their successes, they were literally planning the demise of a wonderful father, a good man, a hard worker, like someone who was amazing, like, or just a person in general. I mean, still, of course, it's like sometimes people need to be grateful for what they have. That's something that, a lot of people forget to do, is be grateful.
Of Dan Markel, your dad's big gift?
I mean, that's, of course not. That's a horrible thing to say.
What about the grandchildren, getting full unfettered access to the grandchildren?
My
Could that
parents
have been
had
the
full
big gift?
unfettered access to their grandchildren always.
Not when they lived in Tallahassee.
Well, whenever they could come up and see them, they did.
They were 50% of the time with Dan Markel, right?
Sure, but whenever they were with me, they had full unfettered access.
Who came up with the idea to kill Dan Markel?
Charlie.
So Sigfredo Garcia didn't come up with.
So, yeah, okay, so this is from her point of view, Charlie, even though she doesn't know it was Wendi, or it was Charlie via Donna via Wendi, right?
The idea?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Luis Rivera didn't come up with the idea?
No, ma'am, he did not.
When did the defendant first bring this idea up to you?
My first recollection was around Halloween of 2013.
Around Halloween or on actual?
On Halloween, yes, ma'am.
All right. What's your recollection of how that came up?
We were at a Halloween party in Lincoln Road, and right before we were about to go, he got in the car with me and he asked me a question.
What was the question?
Do you know anybody that can harm someone?
And did you know anybody that could harm someone?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Who was that?
Sigfredo.
And at the time, what was your relationship with Sigfredo?
Wasn't the best.
But he was the father of your children, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So were you dating both men at this time, or were you only dating Charlie?
No, I was only dating Charlie.
I'm so sorry. You guys, Katie just answered, it wasn't the best. Like, Georgia was not asking about the status of your relationship with Sigfredo. I'm sorry. That was funny. That was almost kind of like a faux pas, like, you know, the blog was Wendi.
When he would say these things to you, is it in the context of his mom specifically or his family in general?
I believe it was more towards his mom.
Meaning what?
That his mom hasn't been sleeping, his mom is not eating. I know his dad wasn't the best health either, but he would refer to his mom a lot.
All right. And the reason she wasn't sleeping or eating, did that have to do with this ex-husband of Wendi?
Yes, ma'am.
Just waiting for Gary to come. Should be here any minute. Hope you have a good evening. Would you like the apartment the weekend of June 19th to the 22nd? I think we're going to Tally. I miss the boys too much to wait till Dad's birthday week to see them. Besides, we want you to spend some time here. We love you. Heart, Mom and Dad.
Okay. Now, June 7th, this would be the day after, would this be the day after Garcia and Rivera arrived back in Miami with an unsuccessful trip for them to Tallahassee, where they did not accomplish the murder of Dan Markel?
Yes. He responds, okay, have fun. Still working on Dad's B-Day present. To which Donna Adelson says, I know it's a tough B-Day, being 70 and all, but I know you'll come through. And then there's a thumbs up.
Oh, code talk.
Kissy face, Mom.
You first met Mr. Lacoste in the fall of 2013.
Yes,
It was casual at first.
it was.
You were dating other people as well.
I was.
It got more serious around March of 2014.
That's right.
Fair to say he was in love with you?
I don't really remember. I don't think I could say, but it was more serious.
Okay. You weren't so sure about him. Is that fair to say?
I think my feelings developed over time.
And then they undeveloped?
And then they undeveloped.
What is OkCupid?
OkCupid is a dating website.
Were you on that dating website?
I was.
Were you on that dating website at the time that you were dating Mr. Lacoste?
No, I wasn't.
And were you speaking? So I guess if you weren't on it, you weren't speaking to multiple men from the website during the time you were dating Mr. Lacoste. And I'll remind you that you provided your phone in this case, and it was cell-brighted.
So Georgia knows something that you are lying about, Wendi. Just saying.
Didn't you just say that you weren't on OkCupid at the time that you were dating Jeffrey Lacoste?
I don't know when we say I officially stopped dating Jeff Lacoste, but there's a chance that, I don't remember in 2014 whether I had gotten the app and started talking to people before we officially broke up.
Okay, so my point is there's a chance that he was right. You were being unfaithful, or at least talking to other people. He had a reason to be jealous.
I think he had some serious jealousy issues that may or may not have been founded.
Yeah, I think we got from your testimony that you believe he had serious jealousy issues. My question to you is, did he have a reason to be?
No.
So he was wrong.
He was wrong in June when he accused me of being with multiple people that I wasn't with. Yes.
Okay. I want to ask.
Ugh. I mean, Wendi just gaslighted Jeff. the entire relationship. See, that's like something that this is when I feel very sorry for Jeff. Like, he was clearly catching Wendi in lies. And I mean, seeing slap marks on her behind after her business trip, catching her literally having, a date with Daniel Sack, like seeing these texts and things. And then she turned around and basically said to him, like, it's not true. And then continued on with her merry way, doing the same things over and over and never really reassuring him that, I mean, it's like gaslighting 101. Like, she is, like, Wendi is the worst. To quote Shaming of Jay, Wendi is the worst.
Ask you about a meeting with Wendi at a coffee shop that occurred on June 4th, 2014. You recall that?
I do.
What happened at the coffee shop?
We went to the Red Eye coffee shop to have coffee, just to meet midday. And Miss Adelson canceled a trip that we had planned for July 11th to 17th to go see my parents, which was a big deal in the relationship. And she abruptly canceled it.
Did she offer an explanation as to?
Okay, so real quick, I do want to put this in there because he's testifying 11th through the 17th. But during the interview with Isom, and I can't remember if it's the first one or the third one, whichever. He keeps saying the 19th, but he's actually misspeaking when he says the 19th, because further evidence in regards to his computer and calendars and things like that, it was actually the 17th. So I'm glad he's testifying to the 17th, even though the interview says the 19th when he's, I think, first talking to Isom. But the emails actually state the 17th. It's Thursday the 17th was when they were supposed to return if they had gone on the California trip to see Jeffrey's family between July 11th and 17th.
Why she needed to cancel the trip?
Not one that made sense. She said that she feared that we would not get back in time, and she emphasized, had to be back on the 18th to pick the kids up out of school, which would have been July 18th, 5 p.m., is my understanding. And I couldn't fathom why in the summer going through Atlanta, you wouldn't be able to get back in time. It didn't make any sense to me.
So she was worried you could be delayed and she wouldn't be able to pick the kids up.
Right. And we had people who could babysit. It didn't make any sense at all, but that was what she said. That day was very important.
All right. And so that occurred on June 4th.
It did.
All right. Did you see her later that evening?
I did. I went to the house to hang out with her and her children.
And is that her residence on Aqua Ridge?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was she that night? This is June 4th, right?
It is.
Okay.
She was a nervous wreck to the point where she was sick to her stomach. Asked me to get to her house as soon as possible. She was in that much distress. And she didn't have food poisoning or flu or anything obvious. She was just a nervous wreck. So I went to her house, immediately went to the store to get her Pepto-Bismol and a couple of things from the convenience store. I have the credit card receipt, is why I recall that so specifically.
And did you have any idea why she's acting? I assume this is unusual for her.
It was fairly unusual. The degree of severity was definitely unusual. But that whole week, June 4th to 9th, she was very nervous. So.
And she didn't tell you it was because killers were in Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel, did she?
No, I was stunned to later find out that there was hitmen in town at the time.
The dentist lawyers have indicated that you and Garcia got this idea on your own to come to Tallahassee to kill the professor. Is that true?
No. A good one.
Did you kill him and then try to get Katie to blackmail the dentist?
No.
When you suggested to Sigfredo Garcia on the way up that it would be easier to just do a robbery, would it have been easier to rob the dentist back in Miami than to come up here to do a murder?
I never said nothing about him because I don't know him, but I said, let's go rob the lady.
Right.
Just like
but
that.
if you had known that it was actually the dentist that had the money, would you have been just as happy to rob the dentist?
Absolutely.
Would that have been less trouble than coming to Tallahassee to do a murder?
Yes, ma'am.
One day, just a random night that I was over at Charlie's house, he had a manila envelope that was sealed. He told me, Katie, do not open it. Do not touch it. Do not look inside it. I didn't print this paper out from my office, printed it probably from another office, and basically give that paper to the other person.
How did you know where you were going?
Oh, he knew his way.
Who did?
Garcia.
How did he know his way?
He had a piece of paper with an address in the picture.
What can you describe what the piece of paper
It's a
looked
regular
like?
piece of paper.
Like a regular piece of paper like this size?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it white?
Yes.
Was it like this kind of paper that goes in a printer?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was printed on it?
It was the dude's address.
Okay. Was the address printed or handwritten, if you know?
Man, I can't remember.
Okay. Did it have a photograph on it?
Yeah.
All right. So it had a photograph and an address. Anything else written on there?
That's it.
Or typed?
Not that I remember.
Okay. So that's how you knew who you were supposed to kill and where that person lived?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't get the address?
Hey Debbie. I added you as a moderator if you want to post whatever you're taking a screenshot of. Oof. Hot dog water. Yikes.
From the Prof's blog?
No.
You don't read the Prof's blog?
No. We know that.
Are you on the Prof's blog server list?
No.
All right. And what about on the trips to Tallahassee? Was he going on about that on the trips to Tallahassee? No. Did he mention on the trips to Tallahassee, like, this has something to do with the dentist, or we got to kill this guy because I'm trying to harm the dentist?
No. To harm him, he never said nothing about him.
I'll ask it.
Okay, I don't know if I was on mute a minute ago when I said this, but Debbie Martin, I made you a moderator if you want to post a link to your picture or whatever you got going on. I guess you have a picture, like her new boyfriend wears a wedding ring. Is it on the left hand? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm behind in the chat.
One last question, and then we can handle. One means one. Do you know if Professor Markel would frequently post his travel schedule on his Prof's blog?
He would post it on his Prof's blog and on his Facebook.
That's my one question, Your Honor.
Did y'all follow Dan Markel at all during this second trip?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you follow him this time?
Follow him to the daycare and to the gym.
Was there a reason that the murder had to get done on the day it did?
It was just the right thing, the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay. Did you have any information that the victim was going to be leaving town the day after the homicide occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, meeting.
Is the answer struck?
If there's not struck, you need to rephrase your question.
All right. So how did you find out that the victim was leaving town the following day?
I can't remember that good.
Was it from a blog?
Objection, Your Honor. Meeting.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
Roll.
Was it from a blog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What blog was that?
The blog was Wendi.
So I want to ask you about a message from the Cellbrite of Wendi Adelson's cell phone from July 6th of 2014. So chronologically, this is going to be after the June trip that we just saw, and it's going to be before the July trip where Dan Markel ended up being murdered. Was there a text sent on July 6th by Wendi Adelson to Dan Markel?
Yes.
All right. Can you show that to us? Okay, what does this text say?
From Wendi Adelson, it inquires of Mr. Markel, are you in Tallahassee July 14th through the 18th? I just wanted to know if I can have the kiddos on the 16th. Thanks.
Okay, and he says, yes, you can.
He does.
All right, the dates that we see that Wendi Adelson is asking Dan Markel about, what is significant about those dates? July 14th through 18th.
Those would encompass the second trip to Tallahassee where Mr. Markel was murdered.
How did the killers in this case know that Dan Markel was planning to leave town the day after the killing?
I have no idea.
You knew he was planning to leave town the next day, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Did you convey that information to anyone?
Absolutely not.
To your knowledge, did your brother have that information?
I don't know why he would have known that.
So if the killers were told it has to be done today because he's leaving town tomorrow, we don't know how they knew that.
I have no idea how they knew that.
But it would have to come from someone familiar with Dan Markel's schedule, wouldn't it?
They would have to find out somehow. I don't know how. About the gem.
Oh, let me see if I can pull that up. I don't know how to do all this. Okay, hang on. Okay. Who are these people? It like is, it's set up like a, looks like a comedy stage. Okay, I'll check it out later.
He said, I'm going to be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30, but I'm happy to chat or meet with you. Maybe we can go for a walk at school or something like that. Let me know.
Okay. So that particular voicemail doesn't sound very emotionally abusive. Would you agree with that?
No, by this point in time, we were parenting really well and we were doing just fine.
Getting along great. Did you talk to your brother on the day of your ex-husband's murder?
I did.
And about what time of day did you speak to him?
It would have been right after the repair guys were there because that's when I called him to tell him, ask him whether I should get the TV repaired or buy a new TV. So
Okay.
It would have been morning.
How long did you talk to him?
I don't remember.
Does 18 minutes sound incorrect?
That sounds reasonable.
Okay. Did you talk to him about other things other than just the TV?
I really don't remember what else I talked to him about, but probably maybe I would have asked him about his work or we would have caught up.
Did you happen to mention Dan Markel's plans to go to New York the next day?
I don't see why I would have.
So here we have also included the information from
I apologize. I was muted. I've just looked at the link that Debbie Martin sent, and at 1 minute and 34 seconds, I see that he has a ring on his left pointer finger, on his left hand, but it's his pointer finger.
Wendi Adelson's forensic extraction or her Cellbrite report. So we're able to see other things that were contained in her phone. One of the first things we see is that she had a calendar entry for that day for listed as fixed TV.
Now we see that it's deleted.
Yes.
When would that have been deleted?
Sometime prior to our analysis of the handset.
And your analysis of the handset was done that same day?
It was done, yes, the afternoon of the 18th.
Okay. So this calendar event, fixed TV, was deleted at some point before her phone was taken by law enforcement and looked at that afternoon.
That's correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
And we see that there is an outbound call from Wendi Adelson to Donna Adelson.
And that's starting at 8:09 in the morning?
That's correct.
Okay.
An immediate return attempt. And then a text message. Again, this is from Wendi Adelson's handset itself, but there is a return text message or a text message from Donna Adelson to Wendi communicating about Best Buy and coming by for the repair of the TVs.
Okay, she says, Best Buy just called me and I told them to confirm with you. They are on their way over now to help you with the TV set in your living room.
Yes.
Okay. All right, what's next?
We have a text from Wendi Adelson to Charlie Adelson stating, "This is so sweet."
We see that that's deleted.
It is, yes.
That would have also been deleted prior to law enforcement analyzing her cell phone that afternoon, the same day as Dan Markel's murder.
That's correct.
So this is so sweet. 8:20 a.m. Remember, the Geek Squad guy is there. And he says that Wendi was texting on her phone a lot while he was there. But there's no texts on Wendi's phone to Charlie during the time frame except for this one deleted one. That's why I believe that there is a burner phone. I know, Kristen, you're right. Why delete? You guys, listen. This is what I mean when I say the Adelsons could not even act innocent. It's like Wendi drives up, right? I do not believe that she was trying to find the body. 100% do not. I believe she would have just kept on going had she not seen a commotion. She just would have just drove right on by and, turned right onto Benton, made the little left onto Thomasville, and then a quick right up into the ABC liquor store, okay? I do not believe she would have flinched if cops were not there. However, cops were there. Hello? You jump out. You're like, oh my gosh, that's my ex lives at right there. What's going on? They could not even act innocent. She couldn't even help herself from disparaging Dan, during the interview, while he's fighting for his life at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital.
Okay, what's next?
An attempt from Charlie Adelson.
My point is, Kristen, is yeah, she should have been like, oh yeah, I texted my brother back. This is so sweet. Because I finally found out that, he ordered paella or I'm sorry, he paid the bill for the paella from the July 5th party for my dad's birthday. And I didn't have to give him a check for $500. I mean, make up something. Hello?
To call Wendi Adelson. And then a return call from Wendi Adelson to Charlie that lasted just over 18 minutes.
Okay, and what about after that 18-minute call between Charlie Adelson and Wendi Adelson?
Well, this will probably be almost during that, but there's a 9:38 call, or just after that, from Charlie Adelson to Donna Adelson, an attempt for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 9:57, again, an outbound from Charlie Adelson to Miss Magbanua, 12 seconds. Return call, 9:58, 13 seconds. And again, Mr. Adelson to Ms. Magbanua for 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Charlie Adelson again attempts to call Wendi Adelson at 10:06 a.m. 10:07, 10:08. There's a couple of contacts between Ms. Magbanua and Mr. Adelson, one just over a minute and one about 9 seconds. And then 10:09, Charlie Adelson called to Ms. Magbanua for 5 minutes and 54 seconds.
By less than an hour after that, Dan Markel is murdered.
That's correct.
Okay.
And he dropped them off at creative. And whether she maybe figured he was coming or going from the gym because that was the routine. But it sounds like someone knew the routine.
And did you go to the crime scene or very near the crime scene on your way from your residence to, I guess, to lunch or to wherever you were going next?
No, I did not.
So you never turned on Trescott Drive that day?
I went to turn on Trescott Drive, but I saw that it had been blocked off by some tape. And so I just kept driving on Centerville.
Okay. And when you had to turn around at the tape, right, to go back out?
I think I tried to turn right and it couldn't turn. So I would have made like the kind of turn, like a K turn, and kept going.
Was there a roadblock there?
There was tape.
Yeah, and an officer was there?
I didn't see an officer, but I did see a car.
A law enforcement marked vehicle?
And it couldn't turn, so I would have made like the kind of turn, like a K turn, and kept going.
Was there a road?
You guys, have you ever heard it called a K-turn? I've never heard K-turn before this trial. I was always taught like 3-point turn. Is that what she's referring to as a K-turn? What is a K-turn? Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm making sure my mic is still working. It's probably going to go out soon. I mean, they don't even teach driver's ed anymore in high school, so I don't even know. I mean, and I don't pass them. Idiots pass me all the time on the interstate with their face in their phone. So I'm like, what's going on? And I also watch, one of my guilty pleasures is the police chase videos. Yeah, a K-turn, like that does not even make sense. It's almost like she didn't want to use the same language that Officer Bannon had testified to, saying a 3-point turn. It's like she is so calculated.
Block there with...
There was tape.
Yeah, and an officer was there?
I didn't see an officer, but I did see a car.
A law enforcement marked vehicle? Okay. Did you have any contact with the officer?
No.
Okay. Did you do anything after that to try to find out what was going on down that roadway?
No, I just assumed it was weather, or maybe a tree fell.
Had there been bad weather that day?
No, but it was summertime and there's electrical storms and trees fall, so that would have been pretty normal for summertime.
Where were your kids supposed to be at the time?
Okay, yes, she's right. That would have been normal. But crime scene tape is not put up at these types of homes or places where a tree falls. You would have seen fire trucks. You would have seen the little, fire rescue SUVs, even tree people. Because, I mean, there are tons of tree services in Tallahassee. You would have seen like some sort of crane coming in. I mean, they deal with downed trees all the time. They would have had people in there immediately. City of Tallahassee vehicles, fire trucks, tree trucks, not 20 cop cars with crime scene tape up already. Wendi knows better.
That you encountered that roadblock?
They would have been at school.
And that's at the creative preschool?
That's right.
Who took them to preschool that day?
Danny.
And who was supposed to pick them up from preschool that day?
Me.
All right. So did you know for sure that they had made it to preschool that day at the time you encountered the roadblock?
I just assumed. I mean, if they hadn't made it to preschool, Danny would have let me know. But
did you attempt to call Dan Markel when you encountered the roadblock?
No, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was related to the house.
He told her everything is done. She's like, I know.
Yeah, and you're right, John Smith. It actually was like one street up, like where she would have actually done her little K turn and turned around. I think Patty did a walk over there or a drive at some point. There is a huge possibility that Wendi turned, when she did her little K turn and had to turn around, that she actually took a road named Blythe out to Benton instead of going all the way back down Trescott to turn right on Centerville and then come up to Benton in a roundabout way. So I don't know. I think that, but she would have seen all of the emergency vehicles out there. And she would have definitely seen, multiple cop cars. And the crime scene tape would have been, less than, a house up from where she's claiming to have turned around.
Like, with the money.
Okay, let me back you up just a little bit. How did she know it was done?
I think she got a phone call right away.
Oh, and also on my channel, almost maybe a year ago, but I did some videos on that whole area passing by Dan's house. I don't necessarily call out where I believe that she did the turnaround or the K turn or 3-point turn. I believe that Patty did when she did like a walking live at some point. But I also have videos of the water ditch behind the Trescott homes in between Ashford Apartments and 2116 Trescott.
Before we did.
All right, but somehow she indicated she knew.
Yes.
On the night of the murder, did you go to the defendant's house?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you get payment for the murder that night?
I believe it was the following morning.
Were you in a panic when you arrived at his house?
Was I in a panic?
In a panic.
I wasn't in a panic, but Charlie was.
Okay, explain that. How was he acting?
When I opened the door, he was kind of frantic and he had a gun in his hand and he was just all over the place.
Was that normal behavior for him?
Not having a gun in his hand, no, ma'am. A couple days after that, I went and I opened the bag and I called Sigfredo and I told him, I was like, there's mold on this money. And he's like, well, blow dry it. And I was like, but why would there be mold on the money? And he's just, I don't know, just blow dry it. So I believe his parents or his mom might have washed the money.
You mean like physically wash the money?
Yes, ma'am.
And why do you think his mom did it?
Because he was always adamant about telling me he didn't have any money in his house. And he told me that his parents had just stopped by right before I got there. So all of a sudden he had money to put in my...
Okay, so I want to bring up this real quick. Okay, so I've been told from a very, very credible source that the lady, Mrs. Parks, who was from Ashford Apartments, and she gave her little spiel about seeing a small, silverish car parked. Two guys get out. Then they came back. Someone had something black in their hand, and then they were like wet from the waist down. I've been told by a very credible source that law enforcement said that none of that stuff ever panned out. However, her statements is really the reason why I did those walks in that ditch back there. Because the ditch is very different than what it was like in 2014. It's dug out at least an additional 6 feet. Trescott is still the same amount of speed bumps. However, Benton now has a divider. Like when you pull out, or when you come to Benton Road and you're leaving Trescott, there's a divider, so you can no longer turn left. But back in 2014, you could definitely turn left. That wasn't as a thoroughfare, if you will, as it is nowadays. But yeah, I feel like there was something to this, that drainage ditch behind the Trescott homes. I don't know about that. Okay, we'll keep going. We're almost done with this video.
The trunk of my car the
Was
following
the
morning.
money, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I'm sorry.
Was the money already sorted out and packaged when you first saw it, or was he doing that?
No, it was already stacked and sorted out.
Okay. So the defense theory in this case is that Katherine Magbanua frantically showed up at the defendant's home the night of July 18th, informed him that some violent men killed his brother-in-law and were now blackmailing him. Were there any text messages between Magbanua and Adelson about blackmail or extortion in the days following the Dan Markel murder?
Certainly none that I found.
Can you show us the text between Magbanua and the defendant in the week that followed the murder?
So these are some text from that week. This would be July 19th. This would be the day after the homicide. These texts start at 12:13, just after noon on the 19th. And we see them going back and forth about going to the pool or the beach, and kind of casual conversation.
Didn't you say, it's like my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else? Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
And that's because he hurt you, right?
And I was saying that in the context of talking to law enforcement for hours and hours and trying to help them figure out who might be responsible.
Right. And who did you tell them might be responsible?
Well, I told them many, many people. But are you asking about this particular moment right here?
You told them your family might be responsible.
Or potentially someone to do with a former student or his current girlfriend. I mentioned lots of people that I thought could be responsible.
Okay. And of the lots of people that could have been responsible, your family was one.
Yep.
Because they might have done this thinking it would help you. And that's what happened, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Your family had your ex-husband killed to try to help you, didn't they?
No, that's completely untrue.
Okay, so that was part 1 of Paper Bear. So Debbie, I know what you're talking about. I believe it's the same lady, Mrs. Parks, that lived in Ashford Apartments, that is behind the Trescott homes. And my assumption is that whoever the people were that fell in the ditch and got, basically wet from the waist down, or one of them was wet from the waist down, they probably had a cell phone and probably took it out of their pocket, so it wasn't going to get more wet. But I don't know. It's all very interesting. Okay, let me see how to do this.
route that she took that day.
I don't know. Okay, sorry. All right, so yeah, Grish did. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. I don't always agree with everything that Grish says because he does do a really cool like projection from what he believes to be true in regards to how WhatsApp or a burner phone would work, which I found very interesting. I found it entertaining as well, but I did see afterwards, after he first put that out, I'm talking about the creator Grish. Yes, Grish. After he first put that out, there were like people in chats all over the place going, Grish has the WhatsApp data. And I'm like, oh my God, like nobody was critically thinking because, you know, like if you are a fan of Grish, which I am, like you have to like watch his videos, but you need to understand that he does a lot of projection. He also, you know, is really knowledgeable about certain things, and he does great. I mean, he's an artist. He does great. Like his videos are awesome, and I really like his Jennifer Soto videos because he doesn't like talk about the crime of Maddie Soto, but he shows you all of this stuff that's possibly related and zooms in and stuff. But I think that some people got confused with this one video where he talks about like WhatsApp or how burner phones would work, and like, but then people were turning around and saying, "Oh, he's got the data." Like, no, he was telling you how he thinks it went. So. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. I am going to get going. I've been on a little over 2.5 hours. I appreciate everyone for being here. I see Trying to Find a Cure, Mia, Debbie Martin. I don't know if John Smith is here anymore. Kristen has been here. Susie Q. Oh, I hope I'm not missing anyone. But I want to thank all of you guys. Did I say Debbie Martin? Okay. I want to thank everyone for being here, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. And I hope to talk to you soon. I'm going to learn a little bit more. I got some stuff to present. I have some really good information, so I'm hoping that I can learn a little bit more about StreamYard so I can present it smoothly. But this was easy playing that. And I might do another one tomorrow night because there is a part 2 of Paper Bear. And then he also does he has a 3-part for Wendi, which is pretty cool. But there is a lot of her in there talking, so I might have to speed it up because I really can't handle especially the podcast. I cannot handle Wendi speaking, and it's much easier for me to listen to her if it's at 1.25 or higher. She gives me goosebumps. But okay, thank you everyone. Thanks again. All right, this is True Crime Wifey, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, good night.